This week on Fight Recap, we go over Moraes versus Sandhagen.
Boom.
Boom.
Stay tuned.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
And I'm Tim Fulton.
And this is Fight Recap, Moraes versus Sandhagen. I'm going to be sitting like I'm made of concrete today because I had stem cell injections yesterday, just in case you're wondering.
Someone's a little on the sore side.
A little bit. Okay. All right.
The world wanted to know that.
I feel awkward in my own skin sitting here like a statue.
I'm going to move freely just to
Oh,
taunt.
you're a douche.
Just a
You're
taunt.
douche.
I'm going to stand up every now and then.
All
right, let's jump right into it. Moraes versus Sandhagen.
Okay. So this was a big fight for Marlon.
Yeah.
Big fight for Sandhagen, too, because of who Marlon is. I think this was seemed to me like it was, I didn't realize how good Sandhagen was, and I think maybe Marlon had a little bit of an off night. I think he was having trouble with Cory's range
Style.
and distance and style, too, yeah.
He's a tall,
Probably the biggest part of it.
130-pounder.
Yes. He's throwing a lot of crazy shit, a lot of different looks. And then second round, spinning wheel kick, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was a spinning wheel kick.
What the fuck?
That's
pretty impressive.
A lot of kick knockouts tonight.
Dude.
We have to talk about it real fast. We didn't watch the prelims, but we caught the recap of that nasty.
Gets his kick caught, and then turning side kick to the face.
Oh my, that's like some Mortal Kombat bullshit right there.
If you were practicing that in the gym, most people are like, it's good okay. But like, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. Most people are rolling their eyes.
It's never going to happen. And until tonight, never has happened in the UFC. So,
but strange things happen.
This is first time for everything. Yeah, that was insane. Makes you really like, I'm really not like that guy at all. Dude, in every way.
Eating my potato. Yo, that kick was so insane. We literally stopped talking about the main event to talk about that kick in the prelim.
It was that good. It's crazy
good.
how the main event ended in a just as crazy of a way.
Yeah.
But not just as crazy, but it was
up
still
there.
pretty crazy.
It was up there. If that kick didn't happen, we would be talking about this kick. Like this.
Exactly. So, Cory Sandhagen obviously is going to go and fight one of the...
his stock just went way up.
Yes, exactly. But where's Moraes go from here?
You're asking the wrong dude, man.
Yeah.
You're better. I love watching the fights and all that other bullshit, but you're the one who has like all the stats in the back of his head. I don't know who the top 10 is in
it's hard.
It's any division.
It's hard too, right? Because there's this weird thing, which is why when we talk about the Tom Aspinall fight, which is why I like hearing what that guy said after his fight, because once you gain a certain amount of attention and notoriety in the sport, and you fight certain people, you can't really take a step back.
Yeah.
Because once you're a guy that you put on the main event of a card, you're never not a guy that's going to not fight killers.
Yeah.
Like the elite guys. So if you're having an off time, or you're trying to redirect your ship in the right direction, you're not getting any quote unquote easy nights. So it's difficult.
It's kind of like the cowboy effect.
Yeah.
Because he fights nothing but
Murderers.
monsters.
Yeah. And it's hard because if you fight somebody who's not as big of a name or as recognized at the time, it's like, oh, well, he just beat some no-name guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a tough spot, but it's not like Marlon's chin is gone. I mean, anyone would have got rocked with that. So it's going to be. I want to see him fight for the title again. I think he's got a problem with his cardio. It didn't seem to be a problem in this fight, but in the past he's had issues where he comes out like a beast in the first round, and then after that he's pretty much just hanging in there.
We didn't make it too long though. I mean, we did make it I think we were halfway into the second round ish.
Not even. I think it was a minute in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what he does next.
Yes.
There's some changes to be made.
Now, one who did make a good return was Edson Barbosa. Now, he was favored in this fight by, I think it was a 150 or 250?
250.
Yeah. Edson's one of those guys, he's always again, he's got a big name for the sport, and he never draws easy guys. But he's had some issues where, like, he has a good fight, and he gets, like, a questionable decision, or the fight's very close, and it doesn't end up his way. But tonight, he was making me nervous because he's going against a guy, an Amirkhani, who's known for his anaconda choke, and he dropped Amirkhani twice in the second and tried to run in and get him with an anaconda choke instead of just letting him back up. And it's like, I get it, dude. I get it. But when you've had the history you've had with decisions and all this shit, like, just get the W. You made it exciting enough. You just dropped him twice.
Stop.
Yeah, you're not going to be on the highlight reel. Some dude knocks somebody out with a spinning back kick after they caught it. Like, you know you're not going to win it. Stop trying to up it, okay?
Yo, I try to make a conscious, like, effort to not talk to you, like, about certain things in the fight as they're happening. And as that's happening, you just kept yelling, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Let him up!"
Yeah, almost just let him up. Let him up, dude. Like, I get it. You want to beat the guy at his own game.
Yeah, I know.
But then in the third round, I was kind of nervous there because he got taken down. Now, granted, Amirkhani wasn't really doing a ton, but at the same time, the ref kind of gave him one by standing them up.
I was actually going to talk to you about that. I mean, we knew where the fight was going at that point, and I think there was a minute left, and it was truly a stalemate.
There was 3 minutes left when he took him down.
There was 3 minutes left, so it was 2 minutes of not a lot. There was action, but it wasn't a lot of action.
Yes, agreed.
But I like circling back to this discussion of when is stand-up okay?
Some people say never.
I know. I feel like Rogan probably is out there in the abyss somewhere going, "Motherfucker."
Yeah, they should fight in a fucking middle of a football field with no cage and no gloves. And I see the sentiment for some of it, but the one thing I didn't like was the ref said, "This is a fight." This is mixed martial arts, sir. Okay? That's part of fighting, is the groundwork. Okay?
We've had comments on that ref before. I don't know what his name is, but he always has some weird shit going on.
Yeah, he did something during one of the last fights that drove us nuts.
He was the one who also said no talking.
That was this card.
Yeah.
That was earlier in this card. But he was on another one where I think it might have been an early stand-up as well. But
he's just a weird ref.
Yeah, stand him up, okay. Some guys are quick to do it. Some guys aren't. Some guys flip-flop. Sometimes the same ref won't stand him up for a long time. And then another fight, he'll stand him up immediately. But this one, the fact that he said, "This is a fight. Come on, guys, this is a fight." Okay, like, dude, the guy just got dropped twice in the last round. He finally got Barbosa down. Give him a second. Maybe he's trying to compose himself. Like, just fucking let him play it out. Like, I wanted Edson to win because I like Edson.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Amirkhani got the takedown. Like, give him time to do it.
Give it to him. Yeah.
So
I didn't hate this stand-up. I think it was well-timed because they weren't on the ground for 2 minutes. But there was a decent... I don't know. I go back and forth on this.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's either... I don't know. There's very few times when everyone agrees that a stand-up was warranted.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always going to be someone out there saying, "No, too early.
Yeah,
no, too late.
Yeah.
Someone's probably out there saying too late.
Yeah, but Edson, I want to see him climb the ranks. I think he's one of the old school guys who's long in the tooth, who still has it to go back. His takedown defense looked really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to see Edson get a victory and an impressive win. He had to get 2 judges score him either 1 or 2 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
And then one scored it at 29-28.
Yeah, refs beat refs.
Mm-hmm.
Refs being refs. All right, then we have Ben Rothwell versus Marcin Tybura.
Yes.
I said the names right. I'm the winner.
So Ben came out like heavy pressure, heavy volume, and I think he punched himself out in that first round.
I think
first
so,
round
too.
and a half.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think he had a total of like 260 strikes, and I think over 100 of them came from that first round.
Yeah, and I think his accuracy rate was only like 27%, 25%.
They both had the same amount of significant strikes.
Yeah, which is crazy because I don't know if you know, it's way more exhausting to swing and miss than it is to actually hit something.
Yeah.
So it's almost like throwing a punch and a half for every punch. So that's a lot of wasted energy. But I would have thought that if you showed me those shots landing, I would have thought somebody was going to sleep because they were connecting. A lot of them were connecting. I think that Tybura had way smoother and more technical striking and defense. He was using a lot of head movement. He was slipping a lot of punches. I mean, granted, he did eat a lot of punches, but he was using more tactful techniques than Ben was. Ben was kind of just wading forward and being very square, very non-elusive. Like he was kind of just trying to block shots and eat a couple, but he wasn't moving the way Tybura was moving. And I think towards later in the round, that first round, with the amount of volume he put out, really hurt him. I think he was trying to go for the knockout in the first round, to be honest with you.
That's what it kind of looked like to me, too.
Yeah. But Tybura looked a lot better than... This is, I think, the best I've ever seen Tybura look, because it was a hard fight against a guy who's always dangerous. I mean, say what you want about Ben, but the dude hits hard, and he's been around a long time. The guy's got a lot of experience.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, so that's a huge win for Tybura. Huge win.
What do you think about that after the bell punch?
Yeah, I don't know what that was, frustration, or maybe he just exhausted, or maybe it was a little, because it was pretty late.
Oh, it was super late.
Yeah, it was really late. Ben's done a couple things in the past where it's hard because I don't think he's like that, but then he does stuff and you're like,
I was gonna say, I'm not the biggest Rothwell fan, and it's because he's pulled shit like this in the past. And like you said, sometimes you're like, did he mean it? Did he not?
And I can't think of exactly off the top of my head what it is, but I have there was one other feeling of he's done a couple questionable, not like this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But just little, and again, you say it's part of the game, but
you know my stance on cheating. I don't like it.
Yes. Now, I don't think Ben would make a conscious, planned out decision to do that. No. It's probably an in the moment thing. But I think Ben, this is a bigger win for Tybura than it is a major loss for Ben. Because I think Ben is at a point in his career where he's a big enough name. He puts good performances, whether he wins or loses. And I'm not so sure, how far off or close he is to or was a title shot.
Yeah.
But the thing with the heavyweight division is that things can happen very quickly in that division. Like you can be fighting for a title because just there's nobody else.
Yeah.
So I think, again, Tybura, this gets his name out there more. Ben already has a name, and Ben can also, he has a name where if the stars align, he could fight a number top 3 contender because somebody got injured.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
right now,
he beats that guy on any given Sunday or Saturday when in the heavyweight division, which always can happen, right? Not flash knockouts happen all the time in the heavyweight division. Yeah. And then, boom, now he's fucking back in the top 5.
I mean, he's knocked out Overeem, so we know he has the power behind him.
Yes, exactly.
So, strange shit.
Yes.
But it could happen. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about, I don't want to say no names, but some new names, new faces.
Yeah.
You say this name.
So Marcus Perez and Drakkar du Plessis.
Yeah.
Okay, so
South African.
Perez has been in the UFC. He said been a couple years. Du Plessis, I think this is his debut.
It was his They said it was his debut, and it was on short notice. So apparently he just showed up that day.
Yeah.
For this fight.
So Perez is a wild guy.
Yeah.
He's a dude dresses like the Joker, and not just hey, I just did it as a goof on a Friday at work. Like, I'm going to a Halloween contest with a $10,000 prize. That's the kind of makeup he puts on for the Joker thing. He even does that licking thing that the Joker does. He gets into it. But anyway,
so weird.
Yeah. It's a big gamble when you're about to fight and you dress, up like the Joker. So,
because either you're going to look badass or you're going to get knocked out and you're going to be like, oh, remember when that asshole dressed as the Joker?
So du Plessis, I was a little nervous because he looked very stiff in the beginning. Couldn't find his range. He was missing a lot of shots. And then about a minute and a half, 2 minutes in, he started finding his range with the leg kicks.
Yeah.
And then slowly he started going in, but he still looked very stiff, very nervous.
He did.
I've never seen him fight before, so I can't weigh in whether that's not how he normally looks or not. Perez looked like his normal self, a little bit wild, very loose. Then he tried to throw a spinning back elbow, and Duplessis caught him with a very short hook as he spun, and his head was kind of whipping into it, and it dropped him.
Yeah.
And
that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I think that if he wasn't throwing that, it was a perfect for Duplessis, horrible for Perez.
Yeah.
But then he got knocked out, finished on the ground. So huge win to Duplessis because he beat a guy that's been around on a main card on Fight Island for your debut.
How many people can say that?
Yeah, fourth from the top. Yeah. So that's not a bad debut.
No, it's not a bad debut at all.
No.
I really want to see more out of this kid because I do think that you were right. He looked super tight at the beginning.
Yeah.
But he was definitely loosening up later on in the fight, and his reactions were super good. He always had a counter.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was phenomenal to watch. I really want to see him perform more, especially now that he has a win under his belt. I feel like that first time fight jitters is probably going to be gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like there's only good things to come.
It's got to be weird too because he's fighting in front of no crowd.
Yeah,
his first time. So I don't know if that's a plus or a minus, but I like seeing guys I've never seen before and never heard of come into the division because it's weird when you're looking around like, where's all the guys that I know? They're not here anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times these guys will burst on the scene because they fight on the undercard. So I like when they put guys that are their debut and all this stuff on the main card.
Yeah.
I think it's good for the sport to do that.
Yeah, I agree. All right, last but not least, we're going to be talking about Tom Aspinall and Alan Badu.
Yeah, so
Badu.
So this is a heavyweight bout, and both of these guys move like light heavyweights.
Yeah.
They're very quick, very light on their feet. I think they're both weigh like mid 250s.
Big boys.
Crazy little brawl. I thought Aspinall got caught bad with an elbow, but he didn't. Ended up finishing Allen on the ground, knocked him out, TKO. So one of the things I liked, which is why I want to talk about this fight, was that they asked Aspinall, he's on the main card of a Fight Island event with, Marlon Moraes and Cory Sandhagen headlining it. He's the second fight on the card. And
he's
this is the first.
He's new.
Yes. And this is the first time I've ever seen him fight.
Yeah.
And they asked him, like, who do you want, this, that? And I guess he's been very open about saying he wants to slowly grow his name, which is, again, some people will say, you take the opportunities that present themselves because they may never present themselves again, which is very true. But
with that knockout, I feel like there's going to be more opportunities for this young gentleman.
But what he's not doing is he knows that he has a lot of improvement to do, and he doesn't have a huge name yet.
Yeah.
So it's instead of trying to go and be like, I want the big fight, getting the big fight, knowing in your head like you're not sure if you're ready, you lose the fight, now you don't get that call for a while. Now you have to start back at the bottom, grow your name back up, and then do it. Instead of being like, hey, listen, let me fuck around with guys that are more my level. Slowly grow my skills that I'm going to be learning and training over time.
Yeah.
And then after a year, 2 years, because he said, I got probably 10 more years left in this game. What's the rush? So better to get that, get those big shots, those big events when, a loss isn't really going to hurt you when you're, just two trains of thought, right?
Yeah. If
you take a loss to somebody early in your career and nobody knows who you are, it doesn't really matter. But if people know who you are and you start taking losses, it's like, whoa, does this guy still have it? It's too much hype.
And they'll remember.
Exactly.
They'll remember. You're right. If he goes up against like an Overeem type of guy and he gets knocked out real quick, they're going to be like, well, maybe he's not that kind of level of a contender.
Yeah. Now, granted, this is one of the combat sports, the only one where really your record is not that important when you really look at it.
It's not, but it is.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. But when you're looking at something like boxing, like if you have like a couple losses on your boxing record, like you're done. You're done. Like there was a very long time, and it's still kind of like this today, where if you're not undefeated coming up, like you have very little chance of like getting title shots and whatnot. Unless you've already made it, like you have to be like he's undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, or one loss early in your career that you can explain away. this is one of those sports where you look at a lot of like big name guys. If you go back and look at some guys' records that are really famous and known for being like super dangerous guys, some of them have like 50-50 records.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Mark Hunt, I think he was like 11-9 or 9-11 in the UFC. Like if you look at that on a piece of paper, you're like, oh my God, this guy sucked.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, who'd he fight? Oh, murderer. All murderers. Like, you can't just look at someone's record. You got to look at who they fought.
I agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly, but with a lot of casual fans, they don't think that deeply into it. So a lot of people probably look at a record and say, oh, he's 5-0, he's a fucking champion, or he's 5-3.
That's true. But I will say for this sport particular, if you're a casual fan, you're probably just watching to see some crazy shit.
That's true too.
So you're not really even looking as far deep into whose record is what.
Yeah.
You're just like, I want to see somebody get fucked up or choked out or whatever, you know? So, but yeah, I think that was a very honest assessment of his own career path. And, it made me like want to pay attention to him more. So yeah, good on you, Tom Aspinall.
Hey Tom, if you're watching this, come on the show.
Yeah. Come on, all the way from South. Is that the South African? No, South African kid was the discount Thor.
Yeah. Drakkar.
Yeah.
Drakkar.
Yeah, Drakkar.
Yo, you can be on the show too. If you find a way to America, we'll put you on the show. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh, Tom was from England. Okay, England and South Africa.
He had a nice accent. I liked it.
Yeah.
All right. Any last thoughts about UFC Fight Night?
No. Take us out because you're better at it than I am.
All right, guys, let us know what you thought about these cards in the comments down below. Was it a great fight night? Was it a terrible fight night? What do you think of these upcomers? Ooh, I fucked that one up. What do you think about these new up-and-comers? Don't forget to go to brodownpro.com. We have new stuff coming up all the time.
Oh, just so you know, we have now, if you Google Fuck Leg Day, we are the second result on Google.
Yeah. For some reason.
There's no achievement there. I just think that it's a nice little pat on the back for ourselves.
Yeah. We don't know why, but it happened.
We didn't set out to be great. It just happened.
So Google Fuck Leg Day today and see us in that list. We have run out of things to talk about.
We're done. We're out.
We'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh,